As November begins, a deceptive calm blankets North America, stretching from the bustling cities to the quiet countryside. The air feels still, and the landscape seems to pause, as if holding its breath. For many, it's a welcome reprieve after the turbulence of autumn storms. A moment to enjoy the last hints of fall before winter's grip tightens. But beneath this peaceful surface, the atmosphere is quietly preparing for a dramatic transformation. This tranquility is largely due to a zonal jet stream which is currently keeping weather systems in check. The jet stream, a fast-moving ribbon of air high above the continent, acts as a barrier, preventing major disturbances from developing or moving southward. With its straight west to east flow, the jet stream is bottling up frigid Arctic air far to the north, while simultaneously blocking the advance of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. This delicate balance keeps the extremes at bay, creating a rare period of stability across much of the continent. As a result, much of the central and eastern United States is experiencing stable, seasonable weather. Days are cool but not frigid, and nights are crisp without being harsh. It's a brief window of predictability, but meteorologists warn that this pattern is only temporary. Over the next week, only minor weather systems are expected to pass through, perhaps a few light rain showers, or flurries, but nothing significant enough to disrupt daily life. For now, the atmosphere remains in a holding pattern, offering a sense of normalcy. Yet, this is not a time for complacency. The atmosphere is taking a deep breath, gathering energy for what's to come. Subtle changes are already underway, hinting at the dramatic shift that lies ahead. The quiet isn't a sign of a mild winter, but a warning. Change is coming fast. The stillness is a prelude to something much more dynamic, a signal that the weather is about to turn. Communities across the region have a brief window to prepare. Now is the time to check supplies, review emergency plans, and stay informed. Those who use this calm period wisely will be better equipped for the challenges ahead. The National Weather Service confirms that no major threats are expected this week, but their eyes are on the horizon. Global weather patterns are shifting, and forecasters are tracking subtle signals that suggest a major change is imminent. In the far north, energy is quietly building. The mechanisms for a powerful Arctic blast are already in motion, even if they remain invisible to most. The stage is being set for a dramatic entrance of winter weather. This period of calm is the most critical time for awareness. It's easy to be lulled into a false sense of security, but those who pay attention now will be ready when conditions change. The transition to winter will be swift and impactful, beginning in just over a week. The first signs may be subtle, a sudden drop in temperature, a shift in the wind. But the change will accelerate quickly. Use this time wisely. The real battle between autumn and winter is about to begin. The choices made now will determine how well we weather the coming storm. While the interior stays quiet, the West Coast braces for a parade of Pacific storms. Northern California and southern Oregon will see soaking rain by November 5th, with a stronger storm following close behind. The Pacific jet stream is energized, promising a wet, windy week for California, Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. Heavy rain and mountain snow will build an early-season snowpack, but also bring flooding and travel disruptions. These storms are classic atmospheric rivers, tapping deep Pacific moisture. As they move inland, they'll help dislodge cold air in the north, setting the stage for a continental pattern shift. The West Coast's unsettled weather is a crucial catalyst for the coming Arctic blast. The energy and moisture from these storms will fuel next week's major weather events across North America. On the East Coast, a departing weather system continues to make its presence felt, leaving behind a trail of lingering showers and gusty winds that sweep through city streets and coastal neighborhoods. The rain tapers off slowly, but the wind remains persistent, rattling windows and sending umbrellas turning inside out. Trees sway under the force of these gusts, and the wet pavement glistens under the gray, overcast sky, creating a moody, atmospheric scene typical of late autumn storms. As the system moves out, colder air filters in, bringing the chance for light snow on New England's highest peaks. These mountaintops may see a dusting of white, a gentle reminder that winter is just around the corner. Gradually, the clouds begin to break apart, revealing patches of blue sky and allowing a bit of sunshine to peek through, signaling the start of a clearing trend across the region. Meanwhile, farther south, a weak trough lingers near Florida. This system is much less impressive, bringing only spotty minor showers to the southeast. Residents in these areas may notice a few passing clouds and the occasional sprinkle, but for the most part, the weather remains relatively calm and uneventful, with no significant impacts expected. The real story, however, is unfolding much farther north. In central and eastern Canada, a deepening trough is taking shape, pulling frigid Arctic air southward from the far north. This powerful upper-level feature is setting the stage for a dramatic change in the weather pattern, as cold air begins to surge out of the Arctic and into southern Canada. This marks the first major domino in a much larger pattern shift. It's as if someone has opened the freezer door, allowing a rush of cold air to spill southward. Across the Canadian landscape, temperatures begin to tumble, and the wind takes on a sharper, more biting edge. This is the first real taste of winter for many, and it signals that the mild pattern of recent weeks is about to be broken. Ontario and Quebec are the first to feel this initial chill. Residents wake up to frosty mornings, their breath visible in the crisp air as they bundle up in heavier coats and scarves. The transition from fall to winter is unmistakable, as the last of the autumn leaves are swept away by the wind, and a new, colder season begins to take hold in urban centers and rural areas alike. For now, the U.S. East Coast remains largely unaffected by this developing cold, with only a hint of chill in the air and little change to daily routines. But the gathering cold just across the border in Canada serves as a clear warning. The atmosphere is preparing for a bigger shift, and it's only a matter of time before the effects are felt farther south. The process may seem subtle at first. A gradual drop in temperatures, a slow build of icy clouds over the northern forests, but it is significant. This is the groundwork for a much larger Arctic outbreak, one that could bring a dramatic change to the weather in the days ahead. Meteorologists are watching closely as the cold air mass strengthens and expands. The stage is now set for a dramatic shift, as cold air continues to build just to the north. With each passing hour, the potential for a significant Arctic blast grows, promising a wintry turn that will soon be impossible to ignore. Over the Arctic and northern Canada, a dome of frigid air is consolidating. This is the source of the coming Arctic blast. The current zonal flow acts as a dam, but weaknesses are forming as the Canadian trough deepens. The Arctic high is growing in size and intensity, promising a significant impact when it finally moves south. Satellite data confirms this is a robust, early-season cold air mass. When released, it won't be a gentle slide, it'll be a shock to regions enjoying mild autumn. The cold will first seep into Canada, then surge south as the jet stream buckles around November 8th to 10th. The pattern will shift from quiet to dynamic, fueling powerful winter storms. The countdown to winter's true arrival has begun. The calm start to November will end abruptly as a strong trough dives into the upper Midwest. This feature will pry open the door for Arctic air, reorienting the jet stream from west-east to north-south. The resulting clash of air masses will create a volatile environment ripe for major storms. The northern plains and Midwest will feel the first shock, with temperatures dropping by 30–40 degrees in days. This is a wholesale reorganization of the weather pattern, not a minor fluctuation. The shift signals the end of autumn's transition and the start of a true winter regime. The exact track of the trough will determine storm severity, but a turbulent period is guaranteed. The days of quiet are numbered. Winter's first assault is imminent. As a surge of frigid Arctic air pushes relentlessly southward, Canada will be the first to feel winter's full force. Multiple rounds of heavy snow are expected to blanket regions from Alberta all the way to Quebec, with blizzard conditions likely in some areas. Cities and rural communities alike should brace for rapidly deteriorating travel, blowing snow, and dangerous wind chills. For many, this will be the first true test of winter preparedness, as snowplows and salt trucks scramble to keep up with the relentless onslaught. As the storm system tracks southeast, the U.S. northern plains and the Great Lakes region are next in line. Here, cold air sweeping over the still unfrozen lakes will trigger intense lake-effect snow squalls, capable of dumping several inches of snow in just a few hours. These narrow bands can create whiteout conditions with little warning, making travel treacherous and unpredictable. North Dakota, Minnesota, and areas near Lake Michigan should be especially alert for rapidly changing weather. Farther east, the Northeast faces the threat of a powerful nor'easter. This classic winter storm setup could bring heavy, wet snow to upstate New York and much of New England, weighing down tree branches and power lines. The risk of widespread power outages increases as the snow accumulates, especially in areas where leaves still cling to the trees. Residents should prepare for the possibility of being without power for extended periods and plan for difficult commutes and school closures. The exact track of this sprawling winter storm remains uncertain, and even small shifts could dramatically change who sees the heaviest snow. Meteorologists are closely monitoring the evolving forecast as the risk zone stretches from the Canadian prairies to the Atlantic coast. Some areas could see over a foot of snow, while others may escape with just a dusting. A subtle change in the storm's path could mean the difference between a full-blown blizzard and a cold, soaking rain. For cities on the edge of the snowline, temperatures just a degree or two warmer could turn heavy snow into freezing rain or sleet, creating hazardous ice and slush on roads and sidewalks. Now is the time for residents from the northern plains to the northeast and across eastern Canada to get ready. Stock up on essentials, check your emergency kits, and make sure your vehicles are winter ready. Communities that prepare now will be better equipped to handle whatever this storm brings, from shoveling out driveways to dealing with potential power outages. All the ingredients are coming together for a high-impact, early-season winter storm. Meteorologists are issuing warnings and advisories, urging everyone in the storm's path to stay informed and take precautions. The first major snowfall of the season is knocking at the door, promising a dramatic start to winter across much of North America. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep an eye on the forecast as this powerful storm unfolds. Confidence is high as both the American GFS and European ECMWF models agree on a dramatic mid-November pattern change. Both show the breakdown of zonal flow, a deep trough in the central U.S., and a surge of Arctic air. The GFS highlights a potential bombogenesis event off the northeast coast, while the European model supports the same big-picture shift. This rare model consensus gives forecasters strong confidence in a high-impact event. When multiple models align, it's a clear warning. A major winter storm is likely. The models consistently show Arctic air clashing with milder air, fueling powerful storms. The message is clear. Prepare for a significant winter event across eastern North America. The Arctic outbreak's reach will extend far beyond the north, with cold and snow pushing deep into the U.S. A secondary trough along the west coast will bring rain to the Rockies, and possibly southern California. As this system moves east, it could bring snow to Colorado and the central Rockies, unusual for mid-November. The coldest air of the season will spread south, with frost and freezes possible even in the southeast. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s will reach deep into the central and southern states. This is a continental-scale event, not just a regional storm. Nearly every corner of the country will feel winter's arrival, from the Pacific to the Atlantic. The message is clear. Use this brief calm to prepare for winter's first true blast. Check your home's heating, insulate pipes, and have emergency supplies ready. Travelers in the northern plains, Great Lakes, and Northeast should stay informed and equip vehicles for winter. The first snow often brings dangerous driving. Avoid travel during major storms if possible. Forecast details will sharpen in coming days, so monitor trusted weather sources. The key takeaway: a high-impact winter event is coming mid-November. Heavy snow and the coldest air of the season will hit a vast area from Canada to the U.S. Northeast. Prepare now, stay informed, and respect the power of this early winter storm. Winter is coming, and it's set to make a memorable entrance.